Hi everyone, it's Nicole here today with a Beach Lady card featuring the new Beach Lady Leading Lady from Hutson. This is one of their new Essentials by Ellen release stamps and coordinating dies for June 2018. And I just love the Leading Ladies. I think they are fabulous. I have all of them. I think they are incredible used on their own, like I'm going to do here today, to create a beach scene, or combined to create all kinds of wonderful scenes. This Beach Lady, I decided to create a little sunshine background for my scene card today using the previously released Silver Linings die collection. This is a die collection by Julie, and it has these two panels that create amazing sunshine. You can use them individually or together, and you can see if you use them together that they're going to form this kind of sunshine background. And I'm using a little post-it tape to hold them together while I do my inking. I went ahead and die cut them first so that I would know exactly where I wanted to place my ink. And I'm applying squeezed lemonade to the outer edges of the design. Abandoned coral will go in the center, and then spiced marmalade in between the two to kind of blend all three colors together. I wanted it to be a really bright, sunshiny type of background here for my card. And I also want a seamless transition from one color to the other. So I'll just work with these three until I get the look that I'm going for. I'll spritz these two panels with water from a distress sprayer, and then I'm going to blot it dry with a paper towel and let this air dry while I work on the borders that are going to complete the background scene for my card. This card very much was created from the background out. I knew I wanted to create something, a beachy scene for my Beach Lady. I've got another piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock here that I'm going to die cut some wave borders using the Mama Elephant Ocean Wave Trio dies. I'm going to use two of these dies to create my ocean borders, and then I'm going to use a Lawn Fawn stitched hillside border to create the beach that's going to go in front of the water. So our layers are going to start from the card up. They're going to be the sunshine layer from Silver Linings, the Ocean Wave Trio borders from Mama Elephant, and then the beach border die cut with the Lawn Fawn stitched hillside border die. Now once I have all three of these borders, and I did use each layer to help guide me how I wanted to die cut the next layer, I'm going to add color to these as well using Distress Oxide inks. All of my background inks are Distress Oxide inks. All of my background pieces, the sunshine, the waves, and that sandy beach, were all die cut from Bristol Smooth cardstock. The Ocean Wave borders are going to be die cut with Salty Ocean Distress Oxide ink. You don't have to go all the way to the bottom of these panels since it's going to be hidden behind each new layer. I will spritz these with water from a distress sprayer too. I was a little bit lighter handed with this. I didn't want it to be quite as much distressing. Oxidization, can't speak today, for oxidation, there we go, for these two borders. And then I'm just going to blot those dry again, set those to the side, and let those air dry. And I cleaned up my work surface in between each because I didn't want to cross-contaminate ink from one layer to the next. The Antique Linen border, this is going to be die cut, or inked rather. I love antique linen for sand. It gives a really soft, very beachy type of look. And then I usually add a little detail at the end, which I'll show you once we get all the rest of the images onto the card. It's one of those final details. So I've got my background and my borders and my top fold card base. I'm going to center the sunshine border from the top and the sides so it's an equal distance. These are two separate panels, and so I went ahead and adhered them separately We just want to make sure, I just eyeballed it, you could measure it if you wanted to, that the distance from the panel to the top and the sides is as close to centered as possible. Isn't that sunshine background so pretty? I think it would also be super cool to ink each of those sections separately with a different color of ink. I think that would look fantastic. Then I'm going to add my borders to the background, and then we're going to stamp our sentiment from the Beach Lady stamp set. Now, I love these sentiments, you guys. They are so fun. There's Bon Voyage, let's see where the wind takes us, and the C is S-E-A. Oh, shell, yes. Beach, please, and don't get tied, T-I-D-E, down. Really cute, very punny. Then there's the one I'm using, which I thought was kind of hilarious. Several of these are really kind of funny, but I'm using This Is My Resting Beach Face. Very cute, clever, totally fun. I think this is just great for any friend that you have who maybe loves the beach. This is an awesome stamp set. And of course, you could use sentiments from lots of other stamp sets with this as well. Now, I have stamped my images from the Beach Lady stamp set on Neenah's smooth white cardstock, and I'm using Post-it tape to just mask off the dress or any of the areas that aren't the dress. And I did not stamp it and mask it. I really did kind of a cheater mask here using scraps of Post-it tape. And I'm going to take a background image from the Pattern Play stamp set, the flowers, and stamp her dress with this floral design. When I remove the masks, look at how cute her little floral beach dress is. Isn't that fun? I love this Pattern Play stamp set. There are some stripes. There are little cross patterns, a vine pattern, another little kind of crosshatch type pattern. Lots of different things you can do here. There's a little floral design that I think would be cute if you repeatedly stamped it on her dress. You could customize any of the leading ladies' outfits with this stamp set. So much fun, as well as create amazing backgrounds. I am coloring all of my images with Copic markers, and I went ahead and listed what I'm using for each part of the image somewhere at the top of the screen. I think maybe it's all in the top left corner, so that you know at all times exactly which colors I'm using to color her in. What I love about these Pattern Play stamps is that it makes the beach dress look like that's the way it is, but you could truly customize it with any of these. This and maybe just a couple of the little floral ones are the only ones that are kind of color in type of images. So if I were to make this, do the stripes or the other little designs in this stamp set, I would probably color the dress first and then stamp over it with a dye ink to do a two-tone type of look on the dress. Very, very fun. Her dress is in some peachy pink colors. This is one of my favorite color combinations, are 35, 32, and 30. Love this for peachy pink colors. I also gave her some little freckles with the darkest color I used for her hair. Unfortunately, I didn't realize my camera went off when I colored the hair. I think that's the only thing in this that did not show up in the camera. That is E30, 31, and 37. I did list the colors here so you do know what I used. But then I took E37 and gave her some freckles. Just using the tip of the marker and just very lightly giving her some little freckles there. I thought that was perfect for a sunshiny beach themed card. Then we're going to take the darkest color from the background of her dress, which is R35, and color in the flowers. And then we're going to color or add just a little shading. We're not going to blend it out at all with R46. And I started to use a yellow green for the center of the flowers, and I switched that, and I opted to do some yellows instead. I just didn't feel like I wanted to use very many greens on this card. In fact, I think there's only a little bit of green on the umbrella on the front of the little travel magazine or book or whatever that might be. So the center of the flowers is going to be Y08 for all the rest, and I think you can't really tell the difference. so teeny tiny. It's really just adding a little drop of color to those areas. But the little scallop around her neckline and then the little band around her waist are all going to be in shades of yellow. Her hairband is going to be in those same peach colors to match the dress. Next, we're going to color in the sand on the book and this shell with E40, 43, and 44. Add a little dot detail to the shell. Then we're going to color in the umbrella and then the sunshines on both the book and the bottle of sunscreen. We'll move on to the little crab with R24 and R46. Get a little color going there. The water on the book, B21 and B24. Just all of the accessories are so cute. The ones I didn't use today, in case you are curious, there's also like a little plane ticket, a little pineapple drink with a straw and umbrella in it, which I really tried to find room for, and it just kind of didn't work in my scene, but I love. There's some sunglasses, and I think those might be the only 3 images from this that I didn't use. I will let you know that there are some other stamp sets from the Essentials by Ellen collection that I did think there's some accessories, and of course I can't think of the name right off the top of my head right now, but there's like a beach ball and a sand pail and a shovel. I think those would be incredible paired with this particular stamp set. Maybe if you were going to do a larger card, maybe a 5x7, maybe you want to do a trifold card and extend the scene, add some additional leading ladies, but you could definitely incorporate some other images throughout the Essentials by Ellen collection with what comes in this stamp set. I think that would be super fun. The beach towel I really love. I love the combination of yellows and aquas. And then her hat is going to have, it's going to really kind of tie back to her beach dress, but instead of more of the peach focal point color and then the yellow accents, I decided to make her hat yellow and have the ribbon around her hat in that kind of peachy, pinkish red, whatever you want to call it, color combination. Really, really fun. So it looks like we just have the sunscreen bottle, which I went ahead and grabbed those aqua colors I used for the stripes on the towel. And then we've got that little clamshell and then her little straw bag. And I'm going to just use some blue-violet colors for the shell. Wanted to pull in something a little bit different here. We've got quite a few colors going, but I just felt like we needed a little touch of something different, and this blue-violet's perfect. And then I'm going to go back to my E40, 43, and 44 for the beach tote, and a little R35 for like the rivets on the bag. Then I'm going to die cut all the images with the coordinating Beach Lady dies. And then we can pop her in place on the card. And I want to leave enough room so that from one hand she can be holding her beach tote with the magazine and the sunscreen, and then her other hand can be holding her hat. I'm going to use some glue dots to attach this here. And what ends up happening is the bottom part of the card, even though she's nice and tall and she does take up a great portion of the card from top to bottom on a portrait style card, but the bottom part of the card instantly becomes more bottom heavy, I guess I want to say. And I'm really going to feel like I need to kind of balance that with something else up high. We've got, she sticks up nice and high, and the sentiment is up nice and high, but we want something to kind of balance and round that out. And I thought a little touch of glitz and glimmer would be fun there, so we're going to add some Nuvo crystal drops and also a little stamped like asterisk. Now I think these finishing little images along the bottom really kind of round out and make this beach scene so much fun. We've got our little shell, we've got our little clam shell, our seashell, our clam shell, and then the crab, which he's so cute. Really cute and fun. And I want to add some detail, so I'm going to take a white pen and add some little dots to him. We'll add some little white accents to other images, whether it be the shells, the beach towel, her dress, the hat, any little areas like this. I'm going to take a Stardust glitter pen. I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, and add some little sand specks. I think this really lends or looks great as far as creating sand. You can take your white pen then and intersperse some little white dots with those glittery ones. I'm adding a few more finishing touches with my white pen here, and I'm going to trim off any excess with my scissors. There's just a little tiny bit of overhang on that right side with the hat. And I did that part off camera. And just add those little finishing highlight details here to her dress, just a few here and there. Then from that same pattern play stamp set that we used to add the flowers to the beach lady dress, we're going to take a little starburst shape and stamp that with that spiced Marmalade Distress Oxide ink over the top part of the card. Just a few times. Probably about 6-7 times, something like that. And then we will finish the centers of all of these with Nuvo Crystal Drops in Honey Gold. This is a translucent, sparkly gold. So it'll go on kind of milky, but when it dries, it's just going to finish off with this beautiful gold sparkle in the center. I'll even add a few extra drops throughout so that it has a nice sparkly look up high. And that helps balance the design really nicely. Once that's done, my Beach Lady card is all finished. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for this beachy summer themed card featuring the Essentials by Ellen Beach Lady stamps and dies, and also the new pattern play stamp set. The supplies I used to create my card are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here are a couple more videos featuring Essentials by Ellen that you might be interested in. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll catch you next time.